Hey guys, welcome back to Wandering Kid Space Agency. I'm Wandering Kid. When last I left you, we had just finished up all of the altitude-based missions and contracts in Kerbin. The next one we need is to orbit Kerbin. Alright, Gene, I agree with you. We'll grab that one. Now, is there anything else of interest while we're on our way up? Now there's a radial decoupler that's way too high. I'm not testing anything while I'm orbiting. Not right now, anyway. Not something that heavy. I don't feel like testing something while I'm landed. I'm testing something in flight. I'm hoping to get something that's while landed. Oh, I suppose this works. I forget how much that is. Well, let's not do that. Testing LV909 while in suborbital. This actually might be worthy. Get up to 74.2. Okay, there's something else I wanted to show you guys before I finish picking things. And that's outsourced R&D. Now I want you to take a look at this. Please note, this is not one science for every 35,000 funds. That's every 35 funds. We're going to crank this up to 20% funds. It's going to cost me 40 grand to initiate the operation, but that's okay. You'll see why that's important in a moment. Now, one of the things I probably should have done was just orbit Kerbin. Now, you'll notice what I'm going to do is I'm going to get 207 science out of this just for losing 7k in funds. That's very worth it to me. Now, if I come over here and I take a look at this one's now worth 61 science. Probably not really worth it. But at LV909 is not a bad ride. You know what? Let's set it up to take advantage of this one. We'll accept that contract as well. We'll come in here and we'll start our build. Alright, let's start with some basics. We're going to space. I'm missing something. Come in here. And the science I want is down here. Never mind, I don't have enough science yet. So what do I have? I already have the 909 open. That's fine. I don't need a Rocket Max. Zebratrons might be handy. We're good. Alright. So, we're going to set this up with 3-chute landing. We're going to get some fuel on there. Let's open this up so I can see how big this thing is. T100, no, 909. Okay, I'm at 2.9 tons. We're going to bring up 2 goo containers. I'm at 3.2. Okay, the rest of this is lifter. A separator. Now we're going to need fuel tanks. Let me double check something. The solid rocket boosters are 3.74 apiece. So that's 7.5 tons for the SRBs I'm going to want. And okay, these are relatively negligible. I might end up pushing it just over. So I want to keep myself at 10.5 tons. And that's 11.5. I've already gone over my limit. Okay, so that gets me to 10.3. Perfect. Now we're going to do a structural. And an SRB. Dual SRBs. 17.9 tons. This is perfect. Now we're going to adjust our thrust on these down to 80, just so we don't blow past terminal velocity while we're trying to get up. Now, I do want to adjust something. I want to put this engine in when we pop these. And I don't want to fire this engine until I'm ready, but I may ditch this early. So, call this a 17.9T orbiter. Now, if I took these off, I go to 17.6. So these are nearly 0.3 tons. Now, the idea is we're going to land this entire upper section. Save that. Let's go to launch. It's the Kerbal way. Oh, I forgot to look at the price tag. Well, when we get back down, we will. Turn on SAS. Get full throttle going from when we switch. Fire in the hole. Uh-oh. We got a bit of a lean going. There we go. Come on, Jeb. Hang on to it. Stay with me, Jeb. Come on. Come on, Jeb. I know you can do it. Come on, Jeb. Hang on to that. There you go. All right. We'll be popping these shortly. At which point our 45 will take over and we'll be able to drive a little easier. Pop. There we go. All right. Let's get up to map. Pop our information. Our 7.5K. Apo is still way low. Gaining speed though. How's our fuel looking? I want stage only. Alright, we're past 10K. Let's get our rollover in. Dead on 45, go for the newbie run. Now remember, we want to get up to 75K? 74.2, okay. This is basically our insertion stage. She's taking her sweet time getting up. That had to be suborbital too, right? Yep. And this is going to be tight. Let's get a little more height out of that. I should have enough DV in the little engine to get me around. Yeah, we should be fine. Let me double check my staging that I'm not going to accidentally fire it. Good. Alright, let's kick this off. And then once we get near this contract, we'll be able to fire it. Okay, fire that off. Let's get ourselves around. Now this thing does not have a lot of juice in it, but not a lot of thrust. But it does just sip gas, so we've got a shot. And then meanwhile, come in here, we'll get our goo, and we'll also get our crew report. I don't think we're going to get there. I'm already losing way too much altitude. I'm dropping like a brick. Oh, I got some science out of it, but I think we're going to end up landing on the dark side here. Oh, wait. Oh, I may have just enough to kick it over. This could be dangerous. And we're going to have to glide through upper atmo here for a second. I have to be real careful with this fuel. All I need to do is achieve orbit. It is the Kerbal way. Come on, get out of there. Get back into space so I can get this faster. Right. Swing her over. Just a nudge. Orbit achieved. Nice. plenty of science. And now we're going to roll it back over. Now, where's my landing spot? Actually, that works. I'll just bring it in. Burn off what's left of our fuel here. Oh, I'm going to bring in short. Oh, that works out. Kind of kicked that Apo a little high. It didn't need to be that desperate, but that's what I get for not paying enough attention. This is why I like maneuver nodes. Especially when I'm running that tight. But we'll get there. So, in the meanwhile, let's land. Okay, let's kill the SAS. We'll just let her kind of come down on her own. Let's recover that. Now, our little bit of science we just got, our 16.4 is completely dwarfed. We landed pretty decently away. Only gets a little over 75% back. But Jeb got a level. So Jeb is able to prograde retrograde hold now. Not quite sure what that means, honestly. We'll find out here eventually. So we have 70K. We can upgrade him active contract 7. This would, tracking station would allow us to see conics, which is, conics are when you can see your flight path, but when you're looking at a foreign SOI, sphere of influence, so like if you're passing Moon or Minmus, you can actually go see how you're going to pass it. It's 280K, way out of our range right now. Upgrading the VAB cost me 420. Well, I'm not up to 30 parts yet anyway, so that's not exactly something I care about. Upgrading the landing pad will cost me 104K. That lets me get up to 140 tons of vessel. That's a significant change. Upgrading R&D, research science limit is 100. Not entirely sure what that means yet, but we'll get there. It's $1 million to upgrade to the next set, but that lets me get surface samples as well. Astronaut complex, which should let me do EVAs, is 140 grand. And they'll be able to place flags. If I upgrade the admin building for 100 grand, I can do 3 strategies and max out at 60 grand. I'm not too worried about upgrading the SPH. Our runway can only handle 18 tons of plane at the moment, but that's fine. So there's not a lot of anything I can upgrade at the moment other than mission control, which would let me get more contracts. So, we need money. If we try and explore the moon with an 18-ton lifter, it's going to be interesting. Trying to land would be very ugly. Lots of science, but very ugly. Rescuing Johnsel isn't something we can do yet. Science data from space around Kerbin? This is possibilities. We can set up a materials bay. So we'll take that one. We're not going to test something in flight. That's just suicidal. Now, this Explore the Moon never expires, and it's the next one up, so don't worry about it. At this point, what we're going to do is we're going to build up our funds, see what we can do. Now, let's take a look at where these two are. One is below 19.6, the other is below 1800. Not impressive in cash. Let's see how close they are. Sam Cal's Folly is worth more. So they're both over the water. Sam Cal's Folly is closer to us. It's down here. It's possible. I mean, if we overshoot the KSC a bit and come in towards it, we might be able to pick that one off during deorbit. If we come in here, I believe we can see where the Kerbal is. Well, no. They usually run it around about 100K. I'm not liking trying to take either of these missions until I can build an actual plane, even if this thing is just off of our location. But it may be the best choice. Because right now my active is to get some science data. We can get up there. Rescuing him's worth a decent amount of cash. Now remember, 20% of my cash is going to science. There is a method to this madness. And I don't want to pick up the moon yet. So, we know we don't like this one. Well, kill that. This one is 3 locations. One's at surface. Oh, I need an EVA report at surface. That's interesting. Yeah, this is definitely a flight pattern, but it's worth a decent amount. Out of curiosity, I want to go see where that is. Oh, that's like right around here. Oh, neat. So they changed the icon depending on what you're supposed to do. So this one's where I take the EVA. Interesting. Okay. Well, let's pop out of here. Time to go apply some science. And let's go find out what that 100 max science bit is about too. So, if we back this off, we want science tech, and we definitely want the materials bay. Don't care about the comms. Yeah, the battery can be helpful, but there's a battery in here too. Thermometer would be nice. We can get a little extra science out of that if we needed it. But I think right now what we're going to do is we're going to go after landing gear. Now that's research 90. Okay, I'm able to spend that. Ah, I can't research technologies over 100 science. That's what it is. So until I upgrade, I'm going to max off at tier 5. Okay, fair enough. Let's get some better gear here. Well, research these. I always like the big tank. Now these things are heavy. But are they too heavy for the thrust? That's always the question. So like this Rocket Max tank is literally bigger than I can put on the... It's the size of what I can put on the launch pad. I could not even put an engine on this thing. So the question comes down, okay, where's the value in these pieces? We're not there yet. General construction is always helpful, because I like struts. Sometimes you need a launching thing. And the TT-70 isn't a bad item. I haven't bothered to use it lately. Aerodynamics, here's our jet plane. This is going to get us generically around. We need some extra science, though, because I want these parts, too. So we're going to research those, and there's a couple of things here I want. Small inline reaction, Mark 1 cockpit, the Staputnik. This is an important piece, as is electric. This is going to open up satellites for us to launch. Wing connector type B is usually useful. Take the Elevon. Gotta watch the funds. And I don't have enough science to open up any of the rest. The next piece I'm going to want to open up actually is electrics, and the reason for that is for satellites. So we need to get just a bit of science. Let's see what we got going on over here. We're going to... This is the one-stop shop, right? Yeah. This is the one that's got all of them all over the place. This could be interesting. I'm not going to get rid of that one yet. This one's out in the ocean. Kind of a pain to get. You know what? Let's just go get some science data. We'll get our 106. We'll be able to build our plane, and then we can go... We'll be able to get electric and go put satellites up. Let's go that way. So let's pop out of here. We'll head into here. Okay, we don't need all of the random crap we were just doing. So, put you off on the side, because this is my basic lifter. Don't need this, don't need this, don't need that. Science. Now, the mat bay is only 0.2, okay. Let's bring up our tonnage indicator. That's plenty. Slap this on the bottom. Put that on. We're at 16.2. I don't... Okay. Let's do this a little differently. Now, our fuel tanks haven't changed much. 2.25, 4.5. Doesn't really matter. We'll snap that off. Get rid of him. I'll just slap on a bigger tank. Why? Stability. Now if I slap that on and this on, oops, and it gets me to 17.3. Beautiful. Now we do have other engines in here. The LV T45 is actually 0.25 tons heavier, so if you're really scrimping, you can get down to a T30. For equivalent thrust to these guys, 2 of the radials can work, but that's 1.8 tons. So be careful, but you do get a lot more thrust. The Rocco Max is really more helpful. I think it's cost 700 to this thing's 325. Or is it? Right, yeah, it's 700 to the 625 or something like that. But where it costs you is less in the connectors. So if you're ending up running 2 of these trying to get up, this thing only runs you 1. The real curiosity, though, is 7.8 tons, 3.76, 7.5. So this is actually a little heavier as well, even though it does put out a lot more thrust for you. You can carry that a little while. So tonnage is going to matter. Stay put, Nick. I'm just double checking what I've got, seeing if there's anything else I can use to make my life a little easier going up, like this. Hopefully we won't get quite so out of control this time. Don't need any girder segments. We're not doing anything oddball. I forget, how big is this thing? Okay, that's the big wing. The AVT1 winglet can be somewhat helpful. One of these. Oh, sorry. The AVR8 winglet. If you're running out of control or you're having a problem with spin, that one can help you. Nose cones can be useful just as a coolant point because of the way things work under this hood. The rest of this we don't need yet. Okay. Now, debating on bringing up 2 goo cans and firing them off in upper atmo just for a little extra. No, I don't want to deal with that. So we'll go to space, we'll fire off the mat bay, and we'll come back down. Once I've maxed off the science here inside of the Tier 5 scenario, making sure I'm lined up right, yeah. What I'll do is I'll go back into our expectations, or the administrative building, and I'll turn off this massive science gain so I can build up some funds and upgrade everything so I can go to the next level, and we'll just swap back and forth as I go. Well, this is kind of neat, so I can tell him to go aim at a particular direction. That's kind of neat. So, I'm not sure when I get my targetings, because I was wondering if I needed a level 5 pilot, but apparently not. So we'll just set him back to stability assist. I'm about to hit orbit, or space, so we're going to level off and just see what I can do here. If any of you were paying significant attention to that speed up, yes, I did pull a gravity turn. Not one of the best executed ones ever known, but it was a gravity turn. I'm just kind of curious to see if we can hit Apo here. In the meanwhile, though, I'll make sure we get our science. No, I need to set this up differently. We are not going to orbit today. Oh, maybe we are. Barely. Well, I'm going to let that arrow capture, actually. So we're going to speed up again. So I'm nearing my perio. This will arrow break me eventually, but I'm getting bored at ×4. So what we're going to do is blow off my whole last Delta V here. Force myself into the atmosphere. And then while I'm aimed in the right direction, roughly near where I wanted it, I'm going to hit the ejector too. There we go. That's got me coming in a little lower. And hopefully arrow braking works. I just want to point out that we're about to horribly overshoot the KSC. This has not been, one of those pro runs that everybody likes to show off. I'm not even in meteorite mode, and there it goes. Oh well. Let's see where we end up. Well, you know what? For no maneuver nodes, that's not too bad. I had to guess, 200 kilometers off, maybe? And we're down safely. Let's recover our vessel. See how far off I was. Nice, decent chunk of science. I was 325. Okay, a little further than I thought. Still 82.8%. Got a decent amount of funds back from that trip. Let's see what we've got going on in here. Okay, so we've got satellite missions. So, this one wants to be at 10 mil, 10 mil. Just so you're aware, that's roughly lunar orbit. This one wants to be in geosynchronous, up at 2 and 3. These are tough to do. Let's go see what we got going on. So if we take a look and we zoom out a bit. So here's one of our requests for Sean's Cannery. This is the one that's out by the moon. This one could actually be interesting. This apoapsis could actually end up in lunar influence at some point. Actually, it's almost guaranteed to eventually become a lunar crash landing. Either that or get shot off into space or put on some random orbit. It's also costs about 700 or 800 DV to get out there. Not the easiest thing in the world to pull off. Like anything else, it can be done, but let's see what we got in science. Alright, so I got 196. I can open up 2 of these. Electrics are... Wait a second. Why didn't you need electrics? That's very weird. Hang on. Has power and an antenna. Yeah, it's got to have power. I understood this to mean that it had to have a solar panel of some kind. Very interesting. Power and an antenna. This one wants to have a materials bay on it. Yeah, you have to check all of the settings. So this one can be pretty light, but it's going to need a lot of DV to get out. To do a home and transfer, you'd need roughly 16 to 1700 DV. And then you would need to have enough to do adjustments. So you figure you want a SAT that's going up with 2000 to 2200 DV when it gets there. Not impossible. You need to put on probably 2 toroidal tanks and then one of the small engines. I think the LV909 might be able to pull it off. It's light enough. This one doesn't need anywhere near that level of DV, but it's going to be heavy. You saw how tough it was for me to just get a materials bay up into space there with 18 tons. Now, of course, I'm not the best flyer right now, and I'm certainly not doing the best techniques for saving gas, which I probably should be, but that's a different problem. Now, we're not testing the skipper in flight. That can go away. Let's see if I can't get any decent contracts to pop. You want to be tested in flight. But you want to be tested low. It's not horrible. Could use 1 booster to get... Now, those things are heavy. No. Oh, I could test that landed. That's not a big deal. 60, 50, yeah, no. It's literally not even worth the money. Science data from space can be done as soon as I get some EVAs. This expires in 5 hours. I'm sure I'll do an EV... Yeah, well, I've only got 2 contracts. Never mind. Well, let's kill that. I'm going to speed this up while I look through some contracts. I'll bring you guys back in a second. Okay, so I'm going to look at doing the geosynchronous one, which I may not be able to pull off. That's going to be expensive if I fail. But it's definitely worth it if I don't. That's a 80K contract right there. Remember, I'm on hard mode. And if I do, I'll pick off this LVT-45 landed test for the get up and go. Let's go see what I need for that. So come down here to science. Well, you're obviously going to need some solar panels. I believe we already have... Yes, we had this Stay Put, Nick. These are unnecessary. No. Somewhere in here is a tiny little engine. No, not the poodle. Here we go. Ah, the 48S. This thing's a nice little attachment. Especially for its mass. It's 0.1 mass for 350 vacuum ISP. For comparison, while the LT-T45 is a 370 vac ISP, it's 1.5 tons. So this little shipper at 0.1 tons is a great thing to attach to your satellites. It gives you a lot of boost for a little bit. I thought I had opened up toroidal tanks, though. I just find them easy to use on probes. Alright, so we'll have to do this a different way. So we'll grab this. Actually, cancel. We'll just open up everything in that area. So I want both. Alright, now we have to go see about building what they asked for. So, new ship. This is going to be an unmanned flight. One Stay Put, Nick. These are all of my fuel choices. So 0.5. Okay, 0.05. 0.5625. 148S. .6625, 0.72 at the moment. Now we need a couple of more little things on this. Oh no, we need one big thing. Excuse me. 0.925. I think this should have enough delta V. It needs an antenna. Two of those. Maybe there's a battery pack. Yeah, we'll stick one of them in. And it needs an antenna. Bleep. Alright, that's our satellite. It weighs 0.9 tons. Now, let me go get the rocket calculation. Look, we have a calculator. We're going to need this. I'll bring this back in a second, because once I switch back and forth, it gets a little lost. Oh, actually, we can do it this way. Alright, so, we have a Stay Put, Nick. 0.05. We have a battery bank. 0.01. We have two solar panels, which are 0.005 each, so 0.001. Oops. Minus 0.001 plus 0.01. Yeah, I can learn to type. We have a Unicatron on top. 0.205. And now we get into the rest of these. The mat bay is 0.2. Our engine is 0.1 plus, there we go, And our fuel tank is 0.5625. So we have a mass of 0.9375. Now our dry mass is minus 0.22 minus 0.27. Is 0.4475. The delta V calculation is the ISP, which in our case is 350, times the ln of the total divided by the dry. So 0.9375 is the total, divided by 0.4475. Take the ln of it, multiply by 350, times 9.8? That seems more accurate. Yes, because these are given in seconds. So we have to multiply by 9 point. So this thing should have 2500 delta V when it gets up there. I can do the math, I just don't usually prefer it. So now we just need to get this thing up. Hell, it can probably finish orbits on its own without us. As a comparison, 0.84 versus 0.05 makes a bit of a difference in how much pod you're lifting at this point. We need structural. And I'm sorry if that bored you. My sincere apologies if that annoyed you. And the DV for this is what? 7 tons. Losing 4. So we go from 7 to 3 with an LV, with an ISP of 320 in. So 7 divided by 4. Why am I not scientific? 7 divided by 4. Grab the ln times 320 times 9.8. Nowhere near enough delta V to lift this puppy. We're gonna need some booster. Alright. Gotta be careful here. We need basically what we've been doing. Slap you on. And I need a booster assembly. One of these. And, well, whoops, one of these. There, this has been getting me close to orbit in general, and this thing should definitely be able to finish the rest of the way without us. So, material satellite. We'll save that, and we'll see if this gets to orbit. If not, well, no Kerbals were lost in this event. Let me bop out of here, go pick up that satellite request. This one, right? You one of the materials bay? Yep. Grab you. And... oh, the 2477s are opening up. Those are little fire extinguisher ones. Yeah. Landed a carbon. Yeah, this is just a little bit extra for us. Now, one of the things we are going to do is we're going to want to fire off this engine during liftoff. We'll just have to power it down completely. Let's see if we can get to orbit. So there's a couple of... Has no operational SAS modules. I don't like that. Recover. I opened up the little SAS thing. I can slap that on. It may throw off my... It's obviously going to throw off my DV calculation, but whatever. All right. That would be under control, usually. Command and control. There we go. Small inline reaction wheel. Unhook everybody. Click. Now these things aren't too heavy. It's only 0.05. So this shouldn't throw me off too badly. It's going to throw me off a decent amount, but not horribly. All right, so we'll resave that and relaunch it. Satellites and fine print are where you really make your money. What do you mean no operational SAS? I just hooked one up, didn't I? Inline reaction wheel. Oh, you're not considered an SAS module. Alright, fine, screw it. You're going up this way anyway. I'll fly. Now, yeah, actually we are on orbit. Don't want 90, I want roughly... probably in the 115, 120 range. God, I forgot how hard it is to fly with that SAS! Haha! Come on, let's go, little drone. You can do it. I have faith in you. Come on. There we go. Let's go find input with caps lock. Alright, let's bring this up to 120-ish. Whee! Oh yes, this is a blast. I've done this in ages. No maneuver nodes, no nothing. Put this satellite in orbit blind and normal. This should be hysterical. Let's see if I'm right about my Delta V on that satellite here shortly. This thing's going to be a wild horse to control here shortly. I probably should shut off that extra SAS, or the extra reaction wheel. Alright. Whew! That's a wild ride. It looks like I'm kind of ish. Maybe. Come around to Appa, we'll fix that. This section's almost out of fuel. How are we looking up here? Still plenty. Okay. Okay. Shut those off. So I'm going to run my Appo. Ish. Okay, when I hit Appo, I want to denormal some. So, let's get around. This thing should be crashing by now. Yeah, just thinking about it. I think it's just hanging around in low orbit for a while. In really low orbit. We're going to do a double burn here. Alright, so let's get myself figured out. Wait, doesn't the... I got electric. Oh crap, they don't have reaction anymore. Oh, that's good to know. Okay, that's the exact opposite direction I want to go. So there's my normal. I need to go abnormal. So we're going to aim a little bit this way. See if we can't line shit up. Let's fire up the engines. Right. Let's get in here. Boink. See if I have the Delta V. I think I do. So if I don't, this is going to be a short trip. Whoa, 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 whoa. And that's... Oh yeah, this is gonna be wild. Okay. We're cleaning up our descending node some. And it's going to take a few passes, I think, to get this straightened out without any instructions. We do not have the DV. I thought we'd... Oh my god, I blew way the hell past it. Oh dear goodness, no wonder. Well, I may be launching another one of these soon. See if I can correct that. I don't believe I just fired that thing all the way out there. Oh, at least I'm close enough to get Oberth. What do I want it at? A little under 3. Under 3.1. We're at 3.8. Alright. Now, usually I just stick a maneuver node out there and deal with this. But since I can't, it does give me an opportunity to mess with things. Where do I cross? Looks like I'm semi-axis. So it looks like when I get to around here, I'm going to... Which direction am I going to send that? Not sure yet. Hold on. So plan as my indicator. Okay. Now, crossing through, I want to pick this end up, so I'm going to burn normal. Yep, that's got me in the right direction. Let's get this P straightened out. Okay, so now I'll do another burn over there to clean that part up. Next step, over here at the Ep2, let's get a burn. Alright. We're at Ep2. We have been up here for over 2 hours now. Whoa, 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 whoa. Gentle, gentle, gentle. Okay, there we go. Imperio's at 2.6. Even with that giant waste, I may still have enough. Ooh. Trying to watch 3 different gauges at once here. Now what we'll do is we'll push this up just a little high. Yes, it is this hard to control. Thanks for asking. There. And what I'll do is as I swing past their perio, I'll bring the app down. How far off is my nodes? Not bad. I'm only 0.4 off. So, my next target is over here. It's 5 hours in space. Things are expiring if you're not careful at this point. Okay. Yep, I'm right about where I want to be, too. This isn't what I was expecting it to do. Okay, I need to turn this. But which way is... Crap. think this is the correct direction. Which way is it going? No, wrong way. Oops, get over here. Yeah, we're gonna bend this back into shape. Okay. We're bent back into shape. Come on. Come on over. Yeah, little ball. My little yellow ball. There you are. Now, we'll just push our AP up. 3.1. There, how are we looking? And there we go. Satellite up. Holy Moses. Just got to maintain our stability here for 10 seconds with no inputs. And there we go. We have a completed contract. 80K in the bank. Whole bunch of science ready to go. All right. Let's head down. So, we've got our satellite up. Wild ride, but it's up there. And I think that's where I'm going to end this run for this episode. As always, thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it. And I will speak with you guys and hopefully show you our next set of missions and maybe get to the moon on the next run.